Hello and welcome back to the Simply Greg Show. Thank you very much for everyone who's listening and watching today. Once again, Simply Greg Show is all about elevating the mind and inspiring the community by spotlighting the hidden gems in the community. Ordinary people doing extraordinary things. And today I've got Rory Gissin, who is a professional bodybuilder, an entrepreneur, winner of the British, and also he's second in the British.
I wish.
That's it. And one he's lost international as well, and he's now going to doing his first Arnold's. He's excited. Are you excited?
I'm mega excited.
Hey, you know
I'm
what?
trying to keep cool about it, but I'm very excited.
Yeah, that's it. He's trying to keep cool. That's his first Arnold's, and he's been able to make his way there. He's got a love for bodybuilding, and he's been talking to us about how to get fit and live a more healthier lifestyle as well. So if you haven't checked out the first half, go back and check out the first half, because Rory was talking to us a lot about some of the things not to do. You know, which some of those common misconceptions and myths that people have as well about a nutrition plan and also getting fit and the exercises and things like that. But on this half of the break, obviously, what he's going to do is also share with us some practical tips of what we can do, because I know a lot of people listening might also want to either, gain muscle gain, or also, lose weight at the same time. So either or, obviously we can provide you with obviously the basis of that as well. But once again, congratulations
Thank
for
you.
obviously your journey towards the Arnold's.
Yes.
Once again, give us an insight.
So it's going to be my professional bodybuilding debut.
Yeah.
And to get invited into the professional league, you either have to win your national show, which I came second at, which was the British.
Yeah.
And then I came second, so I got invited to the international competitions, and then I won that one. So which was in Iceland, loved it, fantastic place to visit. And because I won the Iceland show, I then got my invitation to the professional league.
And great. And this is the first time that the Arnold's are doing it in the UK, right?
Yes, that's correct. So it is our first Arnold's. There's going to be bodybuilding, strongman, a few different forms of martial arts, CrossFit. It's a huge event. I think they're saying 60,000 people.
Wow.
And
That's
there's going to be me on the stage for the main event.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Very excited.
Definitely it's going to be an exciting time. And so is that all around, like different bodybuilders around the world also coming?
Yes, it's a global event.
Wow.
It is. I know, unfortunately, there's still some travel restrictions, so I'm not entirely sure if everyone can make it.
Yeah. But
they only invited 15 people per category in the world. And I got a lucky invite.
Can I get a ticket for that as well? Yeah. Can I sneak
there? I got one VIP ticket.
That's it. Get him in there. But yeah, that's amazing, man. Once again, it's obviously a lot of dedication and discipline that you've had to put towards that in order to get you to that position where you're at currently at the present moment. Now, I know for others they may not necessarily be going to train towards, or maybe they might have their own Arnold's at home or whatever they want to call it. But still want to get fit. And, for some, they might want to obviously gain muscle, and for some, they might want to lose. So what are some of the practical tips that you might give, firstly, for someone who wants to, gain, because you had to go through that process yourself to get yourself ready? And
so I took a whole year when I decided to become a bodybuilder.
Okay.
I took a whole year just to grow muscle.
Oh, wow.
Even though I was already quite big because I came from rugby.
Yeah.
It took me a whole year. I probably gained not even that much, maybe just 3 or 4 kilos, but of quality muscle.
I love your dedication and commitment towards the patience that it takes towards the process.
Yes.
That's what I love. Because you're attacking it systematically rather than, where some could think like, no, I just want to know, but you're like, no, I need to attack this aspect of it first. And it takes a while to achieve what I'm trying to gain in order to go to the next kind of level where I focus on.
Yes. Yeah. So I think planning is the key.
Yeah.
With all sports, we have microcycles, macrocycles, and it's just the way your training is set up for the entire year.
Yeah.
So bodybuilding's no different. You need to be able to sort of set up your training schedule to either grow some muscle tissue or potentially lose some body fat. Try not to just do everything at once, because it's counterintuitive at that point.
That's it.
So focus on one thing, have one goal for that specific sort of phase.
Yeah.
And then once that phase is complete, then you can start focusing on the next one. And try not to lose faith, if you're only halfway there. See it to the end and see how good you can get the results in the given, in that phase. And by phase, it can be whatever you want. You can do it for a month, you can do it for 9 months, you can do it for a year.
Yeah.
So it is, again, there's no golden rule for this.
Yeah.
It's all what's going to work best
for you and what you're trying to achieve as well.
That's right.
Okay. And what are some of the ways that you would say, or what is kind of like the guideline that you would give or starting point for those who want to build muscle tissue as well?
So to build muscle, I do think you need to be ingesting more calories than what you're capable of burning.
Okay.
So again, we spoke a little bit about metabolism before the break, and you pretty much have to understand your own metabolism.
Okay.
And then you just have to increase, and I say slowly increase, because when you go overboard, there's only so much muscle you can build.
Okay.
Like in a given set of time. Again, it's going to be different for everyone. A pro bodybuilder, for instance, might be able to grow more muscle faster.
Okay.
But the general people just going to the gym, even just 2-3 kilos a year is pretty much is the cap.
Okay.
So when you're gaining 10 kilos in 6 months, it's not going to be all quality muscle.
Okay.
So I really advise not going crazy when you create a diet plan, and you don't just want to eat everything and anything, because you still want to be healthy. So I wouldn't say they call it dirty bulking.
Yeah.
Because it's the dirty foods, that's it. But it's the term bulking is what I'm not the biggest fan of.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to be bulking, you want to be growing muscle.
Yeah, that's it.
There's a bit of a difference. Yeah. So I would say you should be focusing on having a clean diet still.
Love it.
You generally have your protein set to about 1.2 grams of protein per kilo of body weight.
Explain that.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, hang on, sorry. So it's per pound in body weight.
Okay.
So say if it's for instance, I'll weigh, and this isn't my weight, but let's just say I weigh 200 pounds on the scale. I'd want to times that by 1.2.
Okay.
And so that's going to be 220.
Okay.
And that's how many grams of protein I should be eating.
Okay. Love it.
Okay.
Love
so
it.
times
Quick
your
maths.
yes.
Yeah.
I hope I got that math right.
Yeah.
I feel fresh now. So times the amount you weigh in pounds.
Yeah.
Times that by 1.2, and that's how many grams of protein you should be eating. And that's for pretty much any sport of high intensity sport. So bodybuilding is one of those. So if you're looking at to get stronger, powerlifting or rugby or anything like that, that's the general guideline.
Yeah.
And so that's your protein consumption. Now fats, I try not to say go crazy on fats. Fats need to be in the diet. They are essential. Essential fatty acids are there for health reasons.
Yeah. Because there's good fats and bad fats depending on how it's
that's
used.
what I was going to go into. So you need to have your good fats.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to add fats, and your good fats are going to be coming from nuts, avocado, extra virgin olive oil.
Yeah.
Sometimes coconut, but don't have too much coconut oil.
Yeah.
Because that had a bit of a fad a few years ago, but that's acceptable, and there's a few others, but they're the main ones, I would say.
Yeah.
So,
and I'd also, from what my understanding as well, is especially those fats, if we look at extra virgin oil and things like that, having it as a salad dressing, but when it's kind of like fried, it's not a good fat, right? Is it?
Yeah. So I'd say
when anything is fried.
I don't fully know what happens on a chemical level.
Yeah.
But anything that does get deep fried does slightly change the chemical structure.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have the goodness which you would want out of it. Yeah.
Yeah, love that.
So nothing deep fried.
That's
the thing, yeah.
Just because you said extra virgin, you're like, let me fry. No, chill.
No, it doesn't work that way, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So don't be afraid of fats. You need the fats in the diet plan. But again, I would say try not to go more than, depending on your body weight.
Yeah.
You're probably looking around 80 grams.
Okay.
80 to 100 grams, which is a lot, but we are trying to grow.
Yeah.
I would say me personally, I'd bring it down to 60 to 70 grams
Okay.
and focus on your carbohydrates. So your fats and your protein are going to be fixed, and then your carbohydrates you can vary it.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So the good carbs,
Yeah.
we are talking anything that is not made in a factory, pretty much.
I love it. Yeah.
Same goes for protein.
Yeah.
Yes, you can have, a pizza technically has 30 grams of protein.
Yeah.
I always say if it's gone to a factory, the likelihood is it's got something added to it which is not going to be that good for the body.
I see what you mean.
So anything pretty much like living off the land kind of style.
Yeah.
So if you good cuts of meats,
Yeah.
vegetables,
Yeah.
and your carbohydrates are going to be like rice,
Yeah, yeah,
potatoes, quinoa,
Yeah,
your
yeah, yeah.
grains, anything like that is perfectly acceptable. It's
Okay.
when you're getting into
Processed.
chocolate,
Yeah.
those kind of carbs,
Yeah.
slightly different.
Yeah.
So I say, so you can vary your carbs.
Okay.
That's the biggest one. So say 1 week you can have every day you'll have 200 grams of carbs. If you didn't gain any weight, but I mean like a little bit of weight, I'm not
Yeah.
talking like kilos jump
Yeah.
up. If you didn't gain a weight, just add a little bit more next week.
Okay.
And then again, if you jump up in weight, you've added too much. So bring it down a touch again.
Yeah.
So that's the biggest pushing and pulling point,
Okay.
is your carbohydrates. And you can, when your carbs get very high, you can start talking about adding a little bit of fat in, but that's when you're advanced. You'll be pretty big.
Literally.
But so I don't think we'll need to discuss that just yet.
Yeah.
I say, and then back in the gym, I always like to change my rep ranges every week. So I have 1 week I'll focus a little bit on strength. Next week I will do a pretty much 12 to 15 rep range, which focuses on hypertrophy, and that is the physical growth of a muscle cell. So hypertrophy is just the scientific term for the growth of muscle cell. And then the week after that I will do pretty much exercises which build up your lactic acid, and by that we can just do, it's just very high repetitions.
Okay, cool.
40, 50 reps.
In order to burn off, is that right?
No, well that is just, it just builds up lactic acid,
Okay.
and that is in itself a way to increase your muscle mass,
Okay.
just by I wouldn't say attacking it with lactic acid, but it just by building up a lot of lactic acid, building up a lot of fluids in the muscle. So you might have seen people talking about the pump.
Yeah.
The pump is when you're just overwhelmed with intramuscular fluids
Okay.
or intracellular fluids,
Yeah.
and that's just expanding the muscle.
Mm.
But you kind of need all three of these events to
Okay.
get the best results.
Okay.
So if you only focus on strength,
Yeah.
you're only going to get a little bit stronger.
Yeah.
You only focus on hypertrophy, you only get hypertrophy, but it's not quite that simple. So you'd have your strength,
Yeah.
so to get stronger, and then transfer that into your 12 to 15 rep range.
Yeah.
So the more you're lifting, the more tension there is in the muscle. The more
Okay.
tension there is in the muscle, the more it's going to want to grow.
Mm.
So that's why you need to be strong as well going in, which is why we have that strength week.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And I love the way that you've given it in the way that it's really, they can kind of approach it in the way that is best for them as well, and kind of take step by step in order to kind of build themselves rather than just going for it straight away.
Yes, I do.
Which is more,
Yeah, so I do find a lot of people just do the same workouts, the same stuff. They'll go in, they'll do a bench press, they'll go on, they'll do a fly machine, and then they'll go and do some maybe dumbbell press, and then they go home. And it's the same workout all day, every day. For chest, for example.
Yeah.
And then they don't understand why they're not changing. It's like, are you getting stronger? Are you forcing your body to adapt? Are you changing your rep ranges? Because there's so many different muscle fibers. You got to train all of them. You have slow twitch, fast twitch.
Literally.
Okay, we're getting a bit science.
Yeah, I can tell.
I'll reel it in again.
Yeah. Someone's having to open up their science book to be like, was it?
But the end message is there's more than one muscle fiber type. We need to train all of them to get optimal results.
Yeah. of what you're trying to gain. Now that's obviously for those who want to, gain muscle. And what about those who want to lose weight and, obviously lose the fat, should I say? And what were some of the tips and advice that you would say about going?
So I would say your proteins and fats are going to be fixed in a very similar manner.
Okay.
If you wanted to keep as much muscle as possible,
Mm-hmm.
you slightly increase your protein for what we talked about earlier. That 1.2 is probably going to get pushed to 1.4 grams
Okay.
per 1.4 grams of protein per pound of body weight.
Yeah.
And that's just if you want to maintain as much muscle as possible,
Yeah.
because it's protein. You need to
it's
feed
true.
your body the
It's true.
protein,
It's
otherwise
true.
your body will break down your muscle to get the protein back.
Wow.
Yeah, so you need to just make sure you have a very good
So
supply.
you end up losing muscle as
Yeah,
well,
so
just
you want to
get
prevent that.
Okay.
So that's why you'll increase your protein a little bit,
Yeah.
just to prevent any of that happening.
Yeah.
Now your fats, there's multiple ways. So there is multiple ways you can bring your fats right the way down,
Mm.
or you can keep them sort of moderate, but
Mm.
then your carbs have to come right the way down as well.
Mm.
I would say, I personally like to, again, fluctuate the carbs.
Mm.
So we take them down,
Mm.
but I wouldn't say take them out.
Mm.
I'd say a big mistake is just taking them out entirely and going on to something which is called a keto diet.
Yeah.
Keto diet does work, but it's very hard to come back from.
Mm.
Because again, it's not a crash diet if you do it properly, but I don't think people really know how to do it properly. They just think, take your
it's
carbs
the
out.
elimination of
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
So a keto diet is an entirely different podcast.
Yeah, yeah.
There's a lot of information to talk
Yeah.
about that one. So I would say, take your carbs down. Again, very similarly to when you gain weight,
Yeah. Yeah.
you can experiment.
Yeah. And
You can take them down a little bit.
Yeah.
You can even, I would say, if you're going to eliminate them from a meal, make sure it's your last meal and not your first meal.
Your last meal.
Yeah. Your last meal and the last meal of the day.
Yeah. Last meal of the day, guys.
The day of the day.
Yeah. Go.
Just because, again, that's the meal where you're not going to be burning any energy
Mm.
when you're going straight to bed.
Yeah,
Well, not
it's true,
straight
it's
to
true.
bed, but you will be going
To bed soon. Yeah.
So I would say, try not to have too much carbs before bed.
Yeah.
So that is, a lot of people like to just eat salads, right?
Yeah.
I would say you need to keep your metabolism high.
Mm.
So you don't want to shut your metabolism down. So that's why you need to keep your carbohydrates in the meals.
Mm.
And that just gives you an overall, well, it's not a boost in metabolism, but it does just keep it where it should be.
Yeah, balance. There's a corporation
Exactly.
there. So you're
exactly.
working with your muscles, your body. You're like, please, look, let me bargain with you.
Yeah. But then the main thing is you get to increase your cardio.
Yeah.
Now, again, it might not be what everyone wants to hear.
Yeah.
Cardio is not the funnest thing
Yeah.
if you don't like, the running or anything. But when it comes to losing weight, it's all about unbalancing that scale of calories coming in versus calories going out.
Mm.
If you don't want to reduce your food too much,
Yeah.
then you can burn more.
Yeah.
So that is, getting in and doing cardio, essentially. Many different types. You can go for power walks, you can cycle, you can swim, any kind of cardio, as long as that you're burning the calories. More calories you should be burning than you should be intaking.
And even with swimming itself, that's a really good one as well, because you burn so much without even knowing.
That's it.
Like just a few reps, or a few laps, when I do that, I'm like, wow, I'm actually tired as well, because you've worked out so much of your muscles without knowing.
It is, yeah. Be careful with swimming.
Yeah.
It is very good for recovery, but at the same time, if you're still lifting weights in the gym, you don't want to overtrain,
Okay.
because you've just worked the muscles,
Yeah.
and now you're going to work
the
again.
muscle. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
So just
like,
be a
give
little
me a
bit
break.
cautious. Yes, you need to recover.
Yeah.
Overtraining syndrome is something you don't want to get.
Yeah, because then the muscle just needs its time to rest as
Yes.
well. Thank you so much, obviously, for sharing that with us as well, Rory. So much insights that we can all take from that in order to you'll see a lot of people now walking around all fit and healthy just because of Rory now. Literally, it's like, yeah, thanks, Rory. It's like, yeah. But Rory, obviously, with much of what you've given, is definitely going to help a lot of people obviously get fitter and live a more healthier lifestyle, especially removing away some of these common misconceptions as well. And wrong ways of going about it in order to achieve what you're trying to achieve. And hopefully, you know, this has been insightful for everyone as well, in order to help them achieve what they're trying to achieve and listen to your own body as well. Now for you, you've got obviously, you know, the competition coming up in terms of Arnold's, and you know, you've got a lot more, especially now that COVID's been lifted off, because before you was a bit inactive due to that reason.
Yeah, so I actually moved into a gym.
Okay. Now pause.
Yeah.
He's like, everyone thought Kanye is crazy, moving, living in a stadium. Yep. Now look, Rory's even more crazy. He lives in a gym. It's like, okay, let's hear this out. Let's hear this.
Okay, so
explain this to me.
Because I'm a committed athlete.
Yeah.
I thought, right, I have to be able to train.
Yeah.
All the facilities were shut
Yeah.
down south, and my brother owns a gym in Scotland.
Okay.
Which of course was closed as well.
Yeah.
But I knew that if I could make it to Scotland,
he won't kick you out.
Yes, exactly. So I actually had to move into the gym.
Yeah, in order to live. Yeah.
In order to have the facilities.
Yeah.
Because it was then technically my house.
Yeah, literally.
Yes. And I was good, you know, it was golden.
I love that.
Yeah. Commitment. It's commitment.
I love that. First time I've seen someone live in a gym. So yeah, that's amazing. But that's commitment and discipline as well. And what would you say about commitment and discipline? What kind of advice would you give people towards maintaining that?
So
obviously not living in a gym for you guys.
Yeah, no, that's another level.
But yeah.
I know I'm a little bit crazy.
Yeah.
I would say motivation is incredible. It's very good feeling to be motivated and just to have, you know, something to work towards. You get all riled up, but it's also quite fickle.
Yeah.
So I would say discipline is much more important. So yeah, I would say, because when you're disciplined, you don't give yourself the option. You just have to do it. So build yourself that discipline of, you know, prepare your meals for the whole day. Have them all prepared.
Yeah.
We call it tub life,
Yeah.
because it's all in Tupperware.
Yeah.
So you prepare all your meals, and then don't give yourself the option to eat anything outside of what's prepared in front of you.
Yeah, true.
You know,
because you've planned way ahead of time as well.
Yes,
and it's
exactly.
half the battle.
And you can do that while you're motivated.
Yeah,
so, you know,
true.
you'll be motivated to cook it, put it all in Tupperware, and have it all weighed out.
Yeah.
And bring that to work. Bring that wherever you want.
Yeah.
Just bring it with you.
Yeah.
And then don't give yourself the option to break diet. So, I mean, it's not easy, you know, just to tell someone else, do not come off your diet plan.
Yeah.
You know, that's not an easy thing. So I would say, reward yourself.
That's what I love.
Run once or twice a week.
I love that.
Plan to go out.
Yeah.
And then you work towards that.
Yeah.
So you have a goal to stick to your diet plan, to go to the gym every day.
Yeah.
And then that either once or twice a week is your reward. You go out and you do whatever you want, have whatever you want.
Oh, I love that. Within reason, guys.
Yes. Normally, normally, depending on how crazy you go, that one meal a week won't actually make a difference.
Okay.
So make sure it's the one meal a week.
Yeah.
And I would normally advise, have it later in the day. If you go out for breakfast, you've broken the seal.
Yeah.
You're going to want to just pick and pick and pick.
Carry on,
Yeah, so have it as your last meal.
Yeah.
And then kind of once you've left the table, it's done.
It's done.
Stop, you know, that's it.
Yeah, so it doesn't give you the rest of the day.
That's it.
Yeah.
So don't have the day off.
Yeah.
But if you reward yourself with one meal, sometimes two, if they're both quite small, like not just one crazy meal, it won't make a difference.
Oh, I love that. You
can reset yourself.
And in terms of yourself, obviously, I'm sure a lot of people are probably going to want to, you know more information from you as well. They're going to be like, how can we find this guy? Like, he's giving me, you know, he's taking me back to class with all of this information. Like, how can they connect with you? How can they find you? Obviously, they'll probably want consultation from you as well. So how can they reach you?
So generally, I will answer any message I get through Instagram.
Okay, good.
And I do have my own website, which is Coach Gissing.
Okay.
CoachGissing.com to CoachGissing.co.uk. But if you go onto Instagram or even on my YouTube, again, just Rory Gissing, I'm trying to just get as much information out as possible to
That's
the masses.
That's it.
So instead of just having the one-on-ones,
Yeah.
I'm trying to educate people
Yeah.
so they can design it themselves.
Yeah.
You know, because then it's not just you're only on diet for 12 weeks.
That's it.
You can have a lifestyle.
That's it.
You've
That's
created it yourself. You found something which is going to work for you,
Yeah.
and you can therefore stick to it.
And it's really powerful what you say, lifestyle, because it's building something that's sustainable and it's your way of life rather than something that's totally off kilt for you.
That's right.
And it's difficult for you to maintain because it's someone else's plan.
That's right. The best diet is one that you can stick to.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. So Instagram handle, what is your Instagram?
It is Rory Gissing
Mm.
_ IFBB, as IFBB is the acronym for the professional league I compete for.
Yeah.
It's International Federation for Bodybuilding.
Woo, woo,
Yes.
woo, woo, woo.
So Rory Gissing _ IFBB.
That's it. And that's the one that you won, right?
Well, that's just the professional league.
Oh, the
yes,
professional
yes.
league, sorry. And obviously, you know, because I just want to give him props for his international kind of achievements in Iceland. And then he's got now, obviously, the Arnold's. Once again, how excited are you about that?
I'm ecstatic.
Yeah?
It's going to be incredible because some of the biggest names in my category are going to be there.
Yeah? Names
It's-
like what?
Ryan Terry.
Okay.
If I don't know if anyone you know who that is, Ryan John Baptiste.
Yeah.
They're probably the biggest two and the ones I personally would love to take down.
Yeah.
Just because they. Well, there's also another guy you might have heard of him called Romain Lansford.
Yeah.
He won the British finals the year I started.
Oh, wow.
So
Okay.
all of a sudden, that was the guy to beat.
Yeah.
And he retired pretty soon after, and this is his first show back.
Okay.
So it'll be fantastic. So now I actually have an opportunity
Now to beat him.
to just to
To
be on
take him-
stage with the
okay,
guy
yeah.
that I
know.
looked up to the guy to be when I was younger, kind of thing.
I love
I
that.
say younger. It was only about 5 years.
Yeah, a few years. I love that. Guys, give him as much support as possible. I mean, it's taken him a while to work his way up here on a professional scale as well, and to do his first major one as well, you know, and professional debut, you say,
Yes.
on that kind of scale, which is amazing. And yeah, just hit him up, connect with him. And if you have any questions, also connect with him and ask him, and I'm sure he'll be more than happy to obviously give you or point you in the right direction as well. So today's been amazing. Obviously, speaking to Rory, we've been talking about how to get fit and live a more healthier lifestyle as well. He's got the Arnold's coming up, which is on what date is it?
It is the 2nd of October.
2nd of
9 weeks away.
Yeah, and where's that taking place?
It's the NEC Birmingham.
Okay, cool. So yeah, you can obviously, how can they get tickets or how can they get themselves?
So it is online if you look up, I believe, Arnold Sports UK.
Yeah.
And there's also going to be a live stream on the website. If you can't make tickets, because I'm not entirely sure if the tickets are actually sold out right
Yeah,
now.
that's the thing. Yeah.
So the live stream will be up. More information to come soon because it's
Yeah.
not quite fully set up yet. But yeah, have a look out on. I'll be posting any information that they
Yeah.
give us as athletes. I'll repost on my Instagram.
Yeah, and we'll also put a link under this video as well, so
Perfect.
at least they can obviously go for that as well. So give him as much support as possible. It's such an extreme kind of dedicated sport, or you know, that he's committing himself to in order to hopefully get that winning trophy as well.
Yes.
So
Arnold's actually will be there as well.
oh,
The man himself will be
man-
there.
oh,
Yes, he will.
Mr. Schwarzenegger.
That's it. Yes,
That's
So
it.
If you win, that's
Yeah.
it. You get to have a little interview with him and a sit down, and it's
Yeah.
all very proper.
That's it. We're going for him. We're rooting for Rory.
There you go.
Rory's going to win. Let's go for it.
Yeah.
Let's go. So once again, thank you everyone for listening to the Simply Greg Show, all about elevating the mind and inspiring the community by spotlighting the hidden gems in the community, which is ordinary people doing extraordinary things. And today was Rory Gisson speaking to us about how to get fit and also live a healthier lifestyle. And next week we've got another amazing one, but not less. Thank you for everyone who's connected with us as well. You can also connect with us on Instagram, which is @SimplyGregShow. On Twitter, it's @SimplyGregShow. And on Facebook, it's @SimplyGregShow. So life is complicated enough. Why make it anymore? Until next time, see you soon. Take care.